The Nova Guest List Podcast.
With Kieran McGuinness.
The very best in indie, alternative and homegrown music. From the seriously addictive Radio Nova.
Here comes the summer, the undertones on Radio Nova. A little bit of tempting fate there by Mr. Bren Berry, who joins us. We're going to talk to Bren in a second, but this is the All Irish Hour on Radio Nova. It's such a pleasure to have you. What we do is we play songs that you love, great Irish songs that you love, and we play brand new Irish music that we think you're going to love. And tonight, a lot of the music is chosen by Mr. Bren Berry, and he is here. How are you doing, Bren?
Great, Kieran. Like I said, thanks for bringing me in here.
No, it's a pleasure to have you. You've got lots to talk about. You have your brilliant album, In Hope Our Stars Align. You've got your gig next Friday, and you've got a very, very busy musical life as well we might dive into. So a lot of people might know, or maybe they don't, you were the guitarist, and I think also you sang in Revelino. Brilliant Irish 90s, indie rock, veterans. Can I say that? I think I can. But legends of the indie Irish scene, Revelino, and what a musical education that would have been for like that decade.
Yeah, I mean, we were full time for 10 years. I bought my first guitar when I was 20, and I had no plan to join a band. And I went back to college when I was 21 to study to become a social worker.
Very good.
And 2 years into it, a friend of mine, Brendan Talon, rang me up and asked me to do a gig with him out of the blue. He was supporting somebody in town.
And was he solo at that stage, or was it Revelino?
Well, I presumed he was doing it solo. He just told me a few days earlier, I'm supporting somebody in town this Saturday, and then he rang me at 6 o'clock. I was writing an essay on Karl Marx at the time. He said, "Do you want to come in and do it?" And I was like, right now. So I ran over to his house, and he had a bass player and a drummer as well, and we figured out 4 songs that we knew, 4 covers, and I think I sang Riders on the Storm by the Doors. And
nice one.
And
that's a good one to fill out the set as well.
So yeah, we just went in. It was totally out of the blue, and blew our minds, and we came out and we were like, this is amazing, let's keep it going.
Wow. And so 3 brilliant albums over the 90s, and just a great career, and loads of brilliant supporting Bob Dylan and in Killarney and everything like that. Like just and I don't think people realise to be full time for 10 years is an incredible achievement in itself. So that's an amazing sort of I guess a backbone, or a backstory in Irish music. And then you pivoted to being the booker, I guess. Man, you'll tell me the title better.
I don't have one. I don't know. Plumber.
The
Vicar
plumber.
Street.
Well, the booker and
I'm the programmer.
For Vicar Street.
For Vicar Street and other things with Aiken Promotions. Yeah.
26 years. It's incredible.
Yeah. It's been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you must have met every Irish artist 10 times. De Laurentiis played obviously Vicar Street a load of times and loved it every time. So we would have come across you there quite a lot as well. So, I mean, just what a kind of an amount of connections you must have. So last year the album came out, In Hope Our Stars Align, and that's, I mean, it's nearly 26 years, I guess, since the last Revelino album. So
yeah, 2001 was when we released our last album. Just did a handful of gigs, and then just kind of faded away. We never officially broke up or anything. We were giving up the ghost. That was definitely our last album in our minds.
You knew it at the time.
Yeah, and I was 3 years into, I started working in Vicar Street in 1998. So I was really giving that everything, once I was given that opportunity, I really jumped at it and grabbed it by both hands, and I've really given it everything for 27 years now. Yeah.
But it is an amazing amount of time between albums, to go.
Yeah, I gave up. I didn't miss it one bit. I mean, I never had any confidence as a musician anyway. I really didn't. I mean, I was in a band with incredible musicians, and I very much felt like the weak link.
I know people would find that amazing to hear, the respect and kind of admiration that Revelino would have had for you to say that is, I think a lot of people would be surprised by that. I think. Yeah,
well, I was the manager as well, which in hindsight was pure madness. But
you were the Johnny Marr.
So in '98 when Peter offered me, he recognised the fact that things were over, so I mean we had an incredible time. I mean 10 years full time, 10 years on the dole fundamentally, I mean we gave it absolutely everything released 3 great albums, and it just didn't work out.
Well, but it did work out, because you released 3 great albums, you know. So that is working out. I mean, that's all you can do, really. Is the doing is the achieving, you know.
Yeah.
I would say anyway. We're going to play something new by Alva Reddy now. And do you keep up with brand new music?
I love Alva. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love Alva. I bought her first album on Bandcamp at the early days of COVID. I believe that was her first album.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think she's incredible. I know she works with Tommy McLaughlin, like yourself.
I do. Very lucky to be able to work with Tommy, and I got a sneak preview of this album there. Look, we're going to chat more about your music and your influences, and of course the album from last year and the gig. But first, let's play this. This is brand new from Alva Reddy, from her upcoming album. This song is called That Girl. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's Radio Nova, brand new music. I Will Follow, of course, by U2 on Radio Nova, chosen by Mr. Bren Berry as one of his selected songs tonight. Why did you choose U2?
Well, U2 and the Undertones just before that were the first bands that I saw live back in 1979. The first gig I ever went to was in Dalymount Park, and the Undertones were the first band on. It was Status Quo and Judas Priest. I was 16. I won 2 tickets on Radio Dublin with Pat James was hosting the show. And then I saw the second gig I went to was AC/DC in the Olympic Ballroom the following month in August '79.
And the third gig you went to?
And the third gig I stumbled. I used to stay in my granny's in the Ivy Buildings a lot of Saturday nights. I used to wander up to the Dandelion Market, and I just stumbled upon this band, and U2 were on, so it was 50p in, took a chance.
Oh my God.
Funnily enough, they were back. They played the last time. They played Dandelion a month later, and I brought 2 of my mates in, and it was £1 in, and they wouldn't go in.
That's amazing. I mean, that was before I was born, but you hear stories about those Dandelion Market gigs or whatever before the first album, and it seems like everyone in the Irish music scene was at them at some point, you know. It's like one of those there was 1 million people at those gigs.
The Dandelion Market was a magic place.
Where was that exactly?
It was opposite Stephen's Green there, you know.
And it was a venue, was it? Or
it was a big market, the Dandelion Market. It was a big market. And it was a massive big market, yeah. And it was a kind of a pretty, I don't know if you could call it a venue, you know. The health and safety officers wouldn't allow anything happening in it nowadays.
Well, this is it. We're taking a tour of Dublin with Bren here. We're going to chat about the new album. We're going to chat about gigs after this. And I suppose your kind of inspiration, which I think is really interesting as well. So, we're here with Bren Berry on the All Irish Hour, and he's got a few choices on the way and a few of his own songs as well. So we're going to play something by Bren up after this. Nova. Yeah, Radio Nova. We are here with Bren Berry, and we're chatting about his music and his upcoming shows. Now, if you'd like to get in touch, 087 18 100 or 321 Kieran on Blue Sky. Please do drop in a text or a question for Bren, and I'm sure Bren is very happy to answer some questions.
Yes, of course.
Unless it's the tax office or you know, the
social welfare compliant.
The social welfare from the 90s who are just checking in. They thought you were reading about Marx, but you weren't. You were rocking. So the new album, most recent album, the debut solo album, I guess, In Hope Our Stars Align, came out last year. Very much, I suppose, a lot of love in there. A lot of love for Dublin. A lot of love for your family and growing up the way you did. It must have been, how much of a challenge was it to I mean, after all this time, to release a debut album at whatever, if you don't mind me saying?
I'm 62 now. Yeah, I was 60. I was only 61 when I released it.
Well, you only look about 49, I said.
I'll take that.
Yeah, but go on. No, it was a challenge.
Yeah, well, I did it all myself, you know, self-funded. I mean, my wife and I agreed on a certain budget, and I blew over 4 times that budget. So that was, but you know, it was, my wife encouraged me to. I had no plan to make I had given up music, and I've always wished I could write songs. And in May 2021, was very drunk in my gaff with my best mate Kieran Talon.
Yeah,
and I've always recorded little bits, but could never finish a song. And he asked me, I hadn't even played him any, and he asked me to play some, and I played them to him, and he liked them, and he said, "Look, I've learned how to use Logic. Why don't you finish one song and I'll record it for you?" And I was like, "Well, I can't. I'll try. I can't finish a song, and I hate the way I sing when I'm trying to sing my own stuff. I just couldn't find. I was very frustrated about I felt I could sing, but I just didn't like the way I sang my own thing. So on Bob Dylan's 80th, anyway, I had been trying for a few weeks with Kieran encouraging me. Then on Bob Dylan's 80th, I just said, if I hear another person murder a Bob Dylan song today, and I said, you know what, I can't do that. I'm going to try and honour the occasion by trying to write my first song. I think that'll be a really nice way to mark.
Well, it's fairly impressive then to go from your first song not long afterwards to your first album, and then a little after that be, getting the reviews and the kind of reaction you did. So you kind of sailed over the expectations of yourself there, I'd say.
Yeah, totally. Look, when I wrote that first song, it was the most incredible. I was ecstatic.
Well, look, why don't we play something from the album? This is one of my favourites. It's called Knives, Heavy Metal Rain. I want to give us a very short intro to this.
I wrote this after hearing a David Attenborough speech at COP26.
Oh, very good. There you go. That's inspiration enough. All right, this is Knives, Heavy Metal Rain from the album In Hope Our Stars Align by Bren Berry. Bren Berry and Knives from the album In Hope Our Stars Align. So, Bren, we're here with Bren here on the Nova guest list tonight. So, I suppose one of the things that I think is amazing that you'd never really sang in your entire career, and then you started singing, when you hit 60 kind of thing. Like that's I think that's very brave. I mean, without being patronising, it's a step, and fair play. Like it's really admirable to.
As I said, I bought a guitar when I was 20 to play songs. The Christy Moore songbook and the Beatles songbook were my Bibles, and I was just playing an acoustic guitar, and I was just bought it for singing a few songs. And then I joined a band with Bren, and Bren was such an incredible songwriter and singer. So then I just became a backing vocalist, really, and I kind of lost. I just stopped singing really myself. I was singing harmonies all the time, and then gave up music completely. And then but I realise now I always wanted to sing. That was my initial impulse: buy a guitar, learn how to sing songs. And so I just couldn't find a voice though that I was happy with, and I just had that epiphany on Bob Dylan's 80th.
Yeah, but there's so many people out there who play a bit of guitar or do whatever, and they write themselves off, and sometimes that's a real barrier to people. And for you to take the step to, no, I am going to write songs even though I haven't really written songs before, and no, I am going to sing even though I haven't really done it before, and then I am going to release an album and play it live and whatever, like it's huge sort of achievements. And it's harder to make those kind of steps, I think, when you get a little older. I think you put barriers up in front of yourself, and I think it's incredibly admirable to do that, and to kind of achieve what you've achieved. But then you went on and obviously your songwriting developed and continued to develop as you went, and you wrote this next song, I Love This City. And I like the story behind this, because it was something that obviously affected you on the day. And so tell us a little bit before we played about I Love This City.
I wrote it after Save the Cobblestone March, and I had walked it with Brian Brannigan, who wrote Long Balconies, which is a classic song. And I actually bought Logic. I bought Logic that day as well, actually, when I got home, and I wrote I Love This City that night. Beginner's luck with Logic, And
you should just keep buying music programs, because every time you do, you seem to write a song.
A new song. Yeah, so I wrote that song. Yeah, and it was a lot angrier initially, as were a lot of my songs. But I've tried to, with the album title In Hope Our Stars Align, I've tried to bring light and hope into the songs as well.
Yeah. Well, this is the song we're talking about. It's called I Love This City, and it's clearly kind of a love letter to the arts scene and the life of Dublin City, by Bren Berry on Radio Nova. Yeah, that is I Love This City by Bren Berry and the Beautiful Losers, which is the name of your band, which is a great name for a band, I have to say. And the big news, I suppose, is the gig. But before that, we got a couple of texts in. Gorgeous song. This guy is sound, says Martin. Do you know any Martins?
I know loads of Martins. Yeah.
Well, it might be one of those Martins. Thank you, Martin. And a text in. Just overhearing this song very good. So there you go. Fans everywhere. So the Beautiful Losers are the band. The gig is next Friday.
Yeah.
I do actually have it written down. Friday the 16th in Whelan's, and it's kind of the celebration of the album.
Yeah, we're coming up to the first anniversary of the album, and we play together. I put together a 7-piece band for All Together now. It's Brendan and Kieran from Revelino, and it's Cormac Curran who did my string arrangements on keyboards, Yvonne Tiernan on vocals, and I've got a great rhythm section with Gavin Fox, who you know well, and Gary Sullivan on drums.
That's fantastic. So it's kind of a bit of a super group as well.
They are amazing. They really are amazing. I'm the weak link.
You need to stop. You need to stop saying that now. You have to stop now. You got over that when you wrote the album, and you've done it. But no, it sounds. You're trying to protect yourself there a little bit, are you? By saying you're the weakling. You need to stand up strong. You got to expert yourself. That's what they say. No, it's going to be great, and it's a real super group as well, and for fans of Revelino as well. I think they'd be delighted to see the three of you.
For 28 years that me, Brendan and Kieran have played since we played Whelan's.
Wow.
Yeah, 28 years since we played Whelan's. Yeah,
jeez, 28 years. That's amazing. Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic. So that's on this Friday in Whelan's, and tickets are available. Get yourself a ticket to that brilliant show. And I believe there's a new song. There might be a new song or two at it.
Yeah, I've written about half an hour. I'd say I've 6 or 7 brand new songs.
This is all huge progress. I mean, what's next? I mean, this is a double album next, and then a tour of the world, and
Yeah, so I'll tour anywhere within 6 miles of my house.
That's fair. Well, look, that's brilliant. And you've chosen a song now by Brendan Talon, and Loving These Times.
Yeah, well, we've played music together for a long time, and I'm thrilled to have him on stage with me. And like I say, first time for 28 years in Whelan's together. It's going to be really great. And he released an amazing solo album himself a couple of years ago.
Yeah, in 2021, I think. And I think this is the title track, isn't it?
Yes.
Very T-Rex. I love how T-Rex this is.
Brilliant lyrics.
This is Brendan Talon on Radio Nova. Love in These Times, from the album with the same name. And he is playing with Bren this Friday in Whelan's. It's Nova. Yeah, that is Brendan Talon on Radio Nova, Love in These Times. And that's a brilliant song there by a current member of Bren Berry's band. We're here with Bren on the All Irish Hour. You really do make friends for life when you tour a little around Irish venues and vans, don't you? I'm friends for life with my band, and I'm very, very lucky to have them, and obviously for yourself.
Yeah.
Stayed mates forever sort of thing.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, myself and Kieran are married to 2 sisters, so.
No way.
Yeah, we live beside each other, yeah.
So there you go, amazing stuff. We're going to be chatting to Bren. If you want to ask any questions about his living arrangements, you can do that. 087 1818 100 is the WhatsApp. Do text in now. We're going to ask Brendan some of your questions after this. It's Radio Nova. Yes, it's Radio Nova. It's Kieran McGuinness. You're listening to the All Irish Hour, and we have a very special guest, Mr. Bren Berry, formerly of the amazing Revelino, and now with a fantastic solo career with his band, The Beautiful Losers, who are playing next Friday night in Whelan's. And of course, you can get his album on Bandcamp as well. A couple of texts in to 087 1818 100. Please do get in touch, and we'll have the chats. First up, love Revelino, great Ballantyre band. Ballantyre.
Yeah, Ballantyre, yeah. Well, I was from Churchtown, but the rest of the band, Ballantyre, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. There's someone who recognises you. Not sure who sent this one in. Love Bren, what's the best unknown act he had in Vicar Street?
Oh God, off the top of my head, unknown band I had in Vicar Street.
Maybe a band that wasn't so celebrated, and then suddenly they blew everyone away.
I can't think of anyone. I'm sorry, I can't think of an answer to that.
Well, I tell you who recently blew a lot of people away was the Lazarus Soul, and you've chosen their song "Long Balconies." Why did you choose that song? I mean, I know why, it's incredible,
but incredible. I love the band. I mean, but Brian Brannigan as a songwriter is incredible, and Joe Chester mixed my new single "I Love This City." I've been a massive his album "A Murder of Crows" is one of my favourite albums of all time.
Hugely celebrated Irish album, yeah.
Absolutely incredible album.
Well, why don't we play it right now? Why don't we play a Lazarus Soul, Long Balconies, as chosen by Bren Berry? If you'd like to get a question in, 087 1818 100.
For a stay away.
Yeah, Long Balconies, A Lazarus Soul, chosen by Bren Berry, who joins us here on the All Irish Hour. Text in, that has to be one of my favourite songs ever. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful tune. The open fire here has me half dead in the armchair. And that's from Ray. Thank you for that, Ray. Brona is really enjoying the music. What does she say? Yeah, she's really enjoying the music. Loving the songs. And a nice question in as well for Bren here. What's been your favourite gig experience so far?
As a performer?
I guess so, yeah. Well, as yourself, as
myself. Yeah. Well, I've done 2 and a bit gigs. So, playing with the Crash Ensemble in the National Concert Hall was such a privilege. It was really incredible. And I had no intention of playing live, but when that opportunity came up, I jumped at that. That was just an extraordinary experience. But then playing with the Beautiful Losers at All Together now. Yeah. So I've really just done two big gigs, and they were both incredible. In terms of the best gig I've been at recently, Gillian Welch and Dave Rawlings, to answer the question earlier, they were unknown to me the first time they played Vicar Street, actually back in 1999, and I was just working that night, and they came on and blew me away, and they've become 2 of my favourite performers. And they played in Ireland in November for the first time for 14 years, and it was just outrageously amazing. Really,
it's incredible. It's incredible when that happens, isn't it? And if you'd like an incredibly watch this now, if you'd like an incredibly amazing experience of a show, Friday the 16th in Whelan's, Bren Berry and the Beautiful Losers celebrating their album In Hope Our Stars Align. Now you've got another choice here, Florence Road. Great choice, great, brilliant, very exciting young band. Why did you choose them?
I wanted to pick a very young band, and my friend Carl Brogan manages them, and they're a brilliant band. They're really going places.
Yeah, Florence Road, I think they could have a really big year. Great choice from Bren Berry on Nova. Yeah, love it. That is Florence Road and Good Night, as chosen by Bren Berry. And it's almost good night from us here. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Bren, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks a million, Kieran. Love your show.
I appreciate that, and I hope you have an incredible gig. You've got one more choice for us tonight, and it's Shane MacGowan and Sinead O'Connor. And I don't know Sinead. I played a couple of gigs with her, but wouldn't know her very well. She seemed like an incredible legend, and I know you did a lot of work with her. Yeah,
I did a lot of work with her. I started off with the Sean-Nós Nua tour, which is one of my favourite tours I ever worked on. I mean, it was the first time I met Damien Dempsey as well. She brought Damien on that tour.
Amazing.
Damien used to open up and say, the reason Sinead brought me on tour with her was to do security.
Well, you know.
But she's just such an amazing artist, really. And it was... the last time I saw her was at the Choice Music Prize, when she got the Lifetime. And she saw me coming, and she says, "Oh shit, here comes Bren. He's going to give out to me," because she had just cancelled some shows. I just gave her a big hug, and she was just incredible. Yeah. Well, look at incredible art. We're going to play that now in a second. Shane MacGowan and Sinead O'Connor's Haunted, Bren Berry's choice. Bren, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, Kieran, and good luck with your music. New album coming up soon, folks.
That's the rumour. We don't do that here. We don't talk about my stuff here. We talk about your stuff. And next Friday, of course, at the Big Shout is the gig in Whelan's. Go along and see Bren Berry and the Beautiful Losers. Let's do this. Do you want to introduce us, Bren?
Well, this is Shane MacGowan and Sinead O'Connor, Haunted.
Absolutely excellent. Radio Nova. Thanks, Bren. Good night.
The Nova Guest List Podcast with Kieran McGuinness. The very best in indie, alternative and homegrown music from the seriously addictive Radio Nova.